السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعين به ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الغمة وجاهد في سبيل الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين، ونحن على ذلك من الشهداء. ما بعد. جزاكم الله خير, my dear brothers and sisters. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless all of you, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless this gathering. Inshallah, we're going to be continuing our series with the explanation of the 40 Hadith of Nawawi. And alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, today we have reached Hadith number 20. And inshallah, as normal, we will read it in Arabic, and then after that, bidnillah ta'ala, we're going to explain it in English. The hadith reads as following: عن أبي مسعود عقبة بن عمرو الأنصاري البدري رضي الله عنه قال: قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: إن مما أدرك الناس من كلام النبوة الأولى إذا لم تستحي فاصنع ما شئت. It was narrated by Abi Mas'ud Uqba bin Amr al-Ansari, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with him, that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, what people have heard from the words of the previous prophecies, if you are not shy, then do as you wish. Brothers and sisters, this is a very, very, very deep hadith, and it is so pertinent to our societies nowadays. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, he started with saying that إذا إن مما أدرك الناس من الكلام النبوة الأولى, what people have heard from the previous prophecies, meaning that what? Meaning that this is something that was continuous among other prophecies in the past. So this is nothing that Islam came with, and we believe that all the previous prophets were Muslim, but nothing that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came with as new, but rather as something that was established throughout all the prophecies, and actually possibly throughout all humanity. Meaning that this is something that is natural, not something that is part of a human predisposition. That, and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, إذا لم تستحي فافعل ما شئت. If you are not shy, then do as you wish. Do whatever you want. So sometimes the people said, the translators of the hadith they have explained it in two ways. Sometimes they said it's either, if you are not shy of yourself, or if you're not shy of what you are doing, and it can be explained in either situation. What is the very first meaning? Meaning if you have no shyness, if you as an individual have no shyness, then you could do whatever you want. Because brothers and sisters, sometimes what holds an individual back from doing wrong, it is something that is inside of him telling him that this is wrong. Something inside of him tells him there is something wrong with what you are doing. Something wrong. They tell you something that rather you need to stop this in one way or another. So therefore, brothers and sisters, it's important for the individual to have some sort of haya. And if the person is lacking the haya, then he could do whatever he wants. If he could lie, he could cheat, he could murder. A sister can go out naked. They could cause drama. They could cause disputes among the people. They could do whatever they want. Why? Because they are lacking the basics. They're lacking the basic shyness that the individual must have. And that's the issue, brothers and sisters, that if the individual is lacking the haya, if you have the individual lacking the shyness, then they could do whatever they want to do. They could do whatever they want to do. Why do you think, brothers and sisters, many people nowadays, lying and cheating, it's something that is it's so something that they do and they don't even think about it, because they lack the essence of cheating, of the essence of haya. They have no haya. They have no shyness. They are not shy. They have no shyness. They're not shy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is looking at them. Why do you think many girls nowadays, They compete in disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the way they dress, in the way they behave, in the way in the way they interact with others. Why? Because they lack the basic decency. They have no haya. They have no haya. So, and that's the issue. That's the issue, brothers and sisters. It's something there is something that is, it's nothing that is rather brought new by Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is something that is, according to what the saying the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there is something that's almost natural to the human being. That's something that was inherited from the previous generations, the previous prophecies. In the way you conduct yourself, in the way you behave, in the way you deal with your parents, in the way you deal with your neighbors, in the way you deal with your teacher, in the way you deal with everyone that is surrounding you. If you are lacking haya, you could do whatever you want to do, because nothing is holding you back. Nothing is holding you back. You don't care of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala thinks of you. You don't care what you have absolutely. You don't think of the consequences of the things that you are doing, whether it was in the dunya or in the hereafter. So the very first meaning, you as an individual, if you are lacking haya, then you could do whatever you want to do. The second meaning is it talks about in the thing that you are doing, in the thing that you are doing. If we think whatever you do, it does not causes you to be shy, then do it. So it could be either or. It could reflect on the individual, or you could think, or you could reflect on the thing that you are doing. If you feel confident that you're able to defend yourself, if you're able to think, if you're able to think that you are, the things that you are doing, if there is nothing wrong with it, go ahead and do it. But if you are shy and you are happy and you feel that whatever you're doing is wrong, then don't do it. Then don't do it. Brothers and sisters, this is something that is very, very deep, that talks about the basics of the morality of the human being. Many people, subhanallah, here we're not talking about, whether for subhanallah, your father is looking at you, or your parents are looking at you, or whether people are going to find out that you have done what you're doing. No, here we're talking about how you are judging yourself between yourself. How are you able to justify to yourself whatever you're doing is correct, or deep inside you think you're doing it wrong, or sometimes we deep inside of us we think it's wrong, but we still defend it for the sake of what? For the sake of argument, or for the sake of the fact that I don't want to show myself as being wrong. So ask yourself these questions. So what kind of some of the things that we could have learned from this hadith? What kind of some of the things that we could have learned from this hadith? Number one, where we could have learned that a lot of times things that came from other nations, but previous nations, we still could apply. Like for instance, like for instance, some of the rulings from the previous prophecies can still be pertinent to us, and the scholars had divided them into three different parts. One, things that could still go, like things that are still we could use, things that we cannot comment on, and things that are not effective anymore. Not effective because what? The Sharia have changed, or because the rulings and the situation have changed. So it's one of the three things, and this one is from the first ruling, meaning some things are that are still continuous. Like for instance, things that are continuous, like the haya, the issue of haya, the stealing, killing, cheating. All of these things are from even from previous prophecies and previous prophethood and nations. These were considered to be wrong. Some things they were wrong. They were wrong in the past, or they used to do it, but not pertinent to us anymore. What will be an example of that? For instance, in previous nations, as Allah Subhanahu wa Taala said, if someone wanted to seek forgiveness, they would have to kill themselves. But now it's not permitted anymore. Sometimes the kind of meat that sometimes they used to eat in the people, for instance, in previous scriptures, they used to have what's allowed to them is this is different than what is allowed to us. And there are many examples. But the point is fall into one of these three categories. Something they continue to do, something that we can't comment on, and some things that are not allowed anymore. Okay? So, and also it shows us, brothers and sisters, that how you should be sometimes judging yourself by yourself. And to be honest with yourself. And for you to evaluate, your level of decency. And whether you have haya or not. Or whether you have haya or not. So these are basic things that the human nature should be thinking about, and for you to judge. So I hope that this is something that is could hopefully make you think and make you ponder, and maybe possibly stir something inside of you to make you think, and always evaluate if I'm shy doing this or I'm not, and ask yourself that questions continuously. Jazakumullah khair, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide all of us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring us closer to Him. Jazakumullah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.